Claustrophobia, one of the biggest and most understandable fears there is. Being trapped in a small space and being unable to get out is petrifying. But imagine if this small space was underground. Imagine if you were buried alive. Hello and welcome back to Life's Biggest Questions. I'm Rebecca Felgate, and today we're asking, what happens if you're buried alive? If you're new here, why not click that subscribe button? Also, if you guys enjoy this video, do make sure you leave us a comment at the end of the video and hit that big beautiful like button. Claustrophobia is a natural human instinct. We need oxygen to live, and our hatred of being boxed in basically stems back to a natural concern that we will run out of air. Running out of air would be the primary issue if you were buried alive. Depending on the size of the container you're buried in, this would happen between 2 to 5 hours after burial. If you were not buried in a container at all, just buried under sand, dirt, snow, or another material, your chances of survival would be lessened as there would be less areas of oxygen. If you were lucky, you'd be able to dig one out, but if you were unlucky, you would feel crushed by the weight of what is burying you, breathe it in, choke on it, or suffocate very quickly. Say you are buried in a container. Your best chance of survival is trying not to panic. Of course, that is easier said than done. You are in an awful situation, so panicking would seem like a natural response. The problem with panicking though is that it uses up so much air. The more you panic, the quicker you breathe. To survive for the longest, you would need to take meditative breaths, breathing out slowly to conserve as much oxygen as you had left. If you stayed buried with no help coming and no way out, eventually all of the oxygen would turn to carbon dioxide and you would become very sleepy. Your heart rate and your blood pressure would increase, your muscles would tremor, your hearing and vision would be impaired, and you would feel very dizzy and confused. Eventually, you would black out, and soon your vital organs would shut down, leading to your death. If you're buried with some kind of communication device, hopefully you would be able to get word to someone to come and rescue you. If that does happen, the shallow, slow breathing will buy you precious time until somebody can find you. If you have nothing on you and you think that you can break out of whatever you're buried in, you could give it a go. With any luck, it would be cheap wood and you could smash through it. Containers are usually weakest in the middle, so try kicking your way out. If the container is breached, soil or whatever you're buried in will start to fall in. You must start moving the soil, for instance, to the sides of the container, cramming as much of it in the sides of the box as you can, really packing it in. When you've packed as much to the side as you possibly can, you will need to stand up to the best of your ability and start trying to wiggle your way out of the earth, hands in the air like a worm. It is best to cover your mouth with something so you don't breathe in the dirt. Hopefully, your hands will break through to the surface and you'll be able to at least pull yourself far out enough to breathe fresh air and scream for help. That is, of course, if you weren't buried by some kind of sick assailant who could be in earshot and waiting to finish you off. Duck. If you're buried in an avalanche, your timescale is even shorter. This is due to the risk of hypothermia. Here, you have about 10 minutes and the hope of help coming from a rescue team. This is why it is ill-advised to ski off-piste, and it is always a good idea to carry an avalanche rescue backpack. So, that is what happens if you get buried alive. Fingers crossed you don't get buried alive. Guys, just don't get buried alive. It really doesn't sound like any fun whatsoever. Don't do it. Really. What would you like us to answer next on Life's Biggest Questions? Let us know in the comments section down below. Have you got any further thoughts on this question? Please do let us know. Also, please do hit that like button and turn on the notification bell. For now, thank you for tuning into Life's Biggest Questions. I'm Rebecca Felgate. I'll catch you in the next video, but until then, be sure to stay curious, stay alert, don't get buried alive, and never ever stop questioning. Still hungry for more answers? Why not check out our biggest what ifs and our biggest science questions?